What is that one thing that made you think, are you really that stupid? One time me and my class were going on a field trip to a remote city and visiting basically a farm. In Portuguese, a slang term for cool or a replacement for goat is galo, which translates to English as rooster or CCK. In which I look at him and ask, in English, we are at international school, you are a CCK. And he turns to me with a straight face, smiles and says yes, I'm a cock, and proceeds to gloat about it. When my neighbor's car battery went flat, I offered to lend her my charger. She insisted the red lead had to go on the negative terminal and the black lead on the positive. I hastily withdrew my offer. Her husband is equally inept. Their internet went down, so I told them my Wi-Fi password. She could connect with her phone, but he couldn't with his laptop, so he said I must have given them the wrong password. My roommate once had to have her boyfriend explain to her how many joules are in a kilojoule. We live in a country that uses the metric system. Even after explaining twice what the kilo part of kilojoule meant, she still had to ask for clarification. I could understand maybe if we used the imperial system, but we don't, and metric is a standardized system. Some guy in my freshman year college class, professor, do you think dinosaurs existed? Professor, there seems to be a lot of evidence in favor of that conclusion. What do you think? That person, I don't think they did. I mean, how do we know they were called dinosaurs? They could have been called anything. One time my sister forgot what state we live in. Not just the location. Like, she literally just forgot which one is ours. I'll never let her live it down. Also, when we were younger, we got into an argument because she didn't think hammerhead sharks were real. She thought I was making them up to mean to her. Back in college, I was headed to upper campus with my girlfriend's roommate. She was telling me that everyone thought she was dumb, which admittedly, I did kinda think. I told her that she should watch out, and she told me that she was sick of people told what to do. And then she walked into light post. Someone told me that cashews are good for your kidneys. I asked some follow-up questions and found their rationale for this was that cashews were good for your kidneys because they look like kidneys. This person was not only a full-grown adult but also a teacher. I knew someone that butchered the pronunciation of Dolce and Gabbana. I'll put into a pronunciation key BC. For the life of me, I can't understand how they came to this conclusion. De los Gabanao. I used to work with a girl named Maria. A client asked her in 100 seriousness, why are you named Maria if you're white? It took a lot for me not to say because that's what her parents picked out. Apparently a friend of a friend had a birthday party for her 3-year-old this week. She had decorations and activities, but no food and no beverages for her guests. And what? In the army, we sent a new guy on a wild goose chase looking for blinker fluid for the Hummers. Went on for a solid hour. Same guy got sent looking for a wire stretcher. Every day on the highway, people camp in the passing lane with room to move over. Instead, they get repeatedly passed on the right and just keep on keeping on. Got in an argument with my old art teacher. She kept telling everyone that Alaska wasn't a state. I said it was. She thought it was its own thing. So yeah. Howard Dean was never going to win the primary, much less the election. John Kerry had it made in the shade. The scream was just a convenient excuse. Working at a casino, some dude asks me if I gamble. I say no. He goes, why not? There's money to be made here. Casinos don't gamble. They do math. I see way too many people get into the rightmost lane on a multi-lane road and try to make a left from it, or whatever configuration of lanes, ignoring all the red flags straight from the beginning and impregnating who would later become my wife and ex-wife. Love my children though. A girl in my college class didn't know that wolves are real. She thought they were made up like werewolves, vampires, and unicorns. I see it every day when people ride my ass for it to pass me, and there's a line of stopped cars about 50 meters ahead. Never saw who did it, but I've seen a large bite out of a toilet paper roll that was clearly taken by a human. Guy I knew was super excited for Avatar 2. because James Cameron wasn't some political and woke director. Last time I trusted my girlfriend, she went off with a 53-year-old man. I almost think I'm stupid. Asked a new kid at work to wipe a counter down and he, with all seriousness, asked me how. Had an elementary school teacher who swore up and down there was no water in juice. Went to school with someone who didn't know the difference between the UK and USA, making a left-hand turn from the far right lane without the use of a blinker. When I worked at a telecom company, and someone said Q for cucumber to me. Every criminal that does a crime and takes their phone with them. Pharmacy customer literally couldn't recognize her own name. Groceries are too expensive, so I just use DoorDash.